And we are not live, but we are online here at the very first episode of the Mozark Minute. I'd like to welcome you, our viewers, our listeners. I am your host, Lucas. I've got my man, Devin, back there behind the table. And, of course, my left, my man, JP. Say hello.
What's going on?
There he is. So sultry, so sweet. Lest we not forget, a very talented young man, not just the voice of an angel on the podcast, but also on the mic for various local bands. But hey, that's getting off subject. Why are we here?
Hey, we're going to talk about some stuff.
What are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about anything you can imagine. We're going to talk about real estate first off. That's going to be one of the big things.
I like that.
Talk about a little investment strategies, for the future. Plan for your future, your
I dig
family. Talk about kind of the history of the local area.
I like that.
Parker, what else we're going to talk about?
Man, I feel like we're going to talk about a lot of conservation, outdoors, hunting-related topics, and just all in all, just everything we can think of to fit under this beautiful umbrella of a podcast.
You know what I
Mozark
think?
Minute.
You know what I think we should talk about?
What's that?
What they want to talk about.
That's a good idea.
So, if you have any suggestions, corrections, juicy gossip,
Juicy gossip.
We'll talk about it all.
most deaf.
Gossip girl. It's
Just
me.
send us a message, drop us a line, shoot us up some smoke signals if that's what you're into.
Yeah.
Keep it ancient, keep it real. But let us know. For the interim, we just kind of wanted to wing it, right?
Let's go.
Absolutely.
That's our motto.
Now, here's a question. Where can they follow us at? Follow these.
If you want to follow the Mozark Minute, you can find us on the Spotify. You can find us on the Instagram, the Book of Faces, also known as Facebook or Meta, if you're up.
Big up, Smart.
Hip.
Man.
Yep.
Big up, Smart.
And, of course, what's been around for the longest?
YouTube.
MySpace.
Old Uncle YouTube. People forgot about that. There's people listening right now. What's MySpace?
LinkedIn. We're not there.
Yeah.
But if we need to be there, you let us know, Mr. and Mrs. Listener. So, as an incentive, speaking of the outdoors and conservation,
Let's go.
It's getting close to bow season.
September 1st, right here in the Midwest, specifically in Missouri, is going to be the opening of Dubs. And then the 15th of September is going to be
Bows.
Bows.
bow season. And so, if you are an outdoors person, we've got some pretty cool giveaways. All you got to do is leave us a comment. Just show us some love, and we're going to enter you in a drawing. Some various prizes. I've got, what do we got? A dozen mechanical broadheads, plus a broadhead guardian case to carry them around in. Keep them sharp.
Don't keep them in your pockets.
Keep them safe. Absolutely
You'll
not.
only do it once.
You'll learn.
You're going to lose your change if you do that.
That's what they call it, I guess.
Got some no-scent hair and body wash and field spray that claims to eliminate 100% of human odor.
It's a bold claim.
I dig it. And also,
Bold.
we've got a Guardian hunting case. I'm going to check it out. And it's got some marking tape. It has scent wicks, bowstring, retrieval. We've got zip ties, reflective tacks to find your way in.
So discreetly.
Discreetly, quietly, even a little pin to mark your tag after you've been successful out in the field. Bow hangers, some bow wax, and some various stuff. Cool little package, all yours for free.
Conveniently would fit in a backpack.
Easily.
Man,
Conveniently.
convenience.
It's all about convenience here at the
Designed with
Mozark
you in
Minute.
mind.
So, I think that, of course, being as how we're in a real estate company in a real estate world here in the Midwest, that's probably what people would like to start out with on the conversation. So the question that I get asked every day, hey, how's the real estate market? Justin, how's the real estate market?
I mean, I don't know a word that's better than great in my vocabulary, but pretty great.
Fantastic, even.
I can handle it.
Exuberantly amazing.
Story time. We actually purchased all of this podcast equipment 2 years ago. All right. And it's sat here and collected dust for a number of reasons. But for one, as you're all well aware, 2020, in the beginning of 2020, we had a unique situation develop on our globe. And that led to an unprecedented time that I don't think any of us really expected. But the last 2 years, 2020, 2021 especially, this real estate market's been absurd. Unless you live under a rock, you've undoubtedly read about it, heard about it, watched it, develop. And even here in the Midwest, in our little pocket of the world, we experienced just an incredible boom. It's been wonderful. Kept that momentum coming into 2022. Residential, recreational, pretty much any type of real estate sales, even the commercial sector did really well, despite businesses being shut down, which was really, let's say, unprecedented. Yeah. And so if I were to describe the real estate market currently, it would be, it's not white hot, lightning hot, burn you, ow. But it's still pretty dadgum good. No, absolutely not. Any property that you've got that is appropriately priced is going to sell. And that's not necessarily to out-of-state buyers.
Yeah, and as to bring up out-of-state, there's several people that bought out-of-state sight unseen.
Oh, yeah.
Just to, whether to just have a place to go to or invest or whatever. I sold one guy 3 properties and never even met him.
Right. Same here. Which, speaking of our real estate here in the Midwest, which we have, agents in Missouri and Arkansas, we can help you virtually anywhere in the country, we being Mozark Real Estate. But as you say, sight unseen property offers, or contracts. And we just have a lot of advantages. We're very fortunate to live here in the Ozarks. Matter of fact, a good segue. Let's talk about where we're at. Poplar Bluff, Missouri.
Poplar Bluff.
The Midwest.
It is the gateway to the Ozarks.
Oh, we're there.
You know it? To our east and to our south is the Delta. It's flat. It's fertile. It's full of some of the best farm ground in the country. To our north and to our west is the Ozarks, the mountain ranges, full of magnificent timber, home of the Mark Twain National Forest, and many crystal clear spring-fed creeks, rivers, and lakes. And I don't know about you guys, I'm kind of partial to it.
I was going to ask, do you know a little bit about Current River?
I don't want to pretend to be a specialist in anything other than land because I carry that title behind my name.
Ooh, that is true.
Certified, baby.
Certified.
But
took a test.
Born and raised here, on the north end of Butler County, grew up on Black River. My family and I all can agree that, we enjoy spending time on Current River. But, the Ozarks are my home. All of these rivers and lakes, growing up and scouting, playing sports, just being outside, that's really been our way of life. And fortunately, my children have really taken to that. Our friends, our family, that's something that we can all agree on. We like it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's a beautiful time no matter what.
That's right. That's right. Have moved around a little bit, but found myself at home. At home.
And let us help you find a home.
Yeah. So if you or yours are looking to find your own slice of paradise of the Ozarks.
And really anywhere.
What do you got to do? All you got to do is...
You can call us. You can subscribe and comment that you need some help.
Oh, we'll reach out.
We'll reach out. Or you can email us. We've got several forms of communication. Or you can just swing by the office. We've got full-time agents on staff all the time for you to answer questions, gather information. Even if you want to move from Poplar Bluff to Tucson.
That's right.
We got you.
That's right. I'll hit them with the radio outro. Contact any of the full-time agents of Mozark Realty at 712-2252 or online anytime at mozark.com.
Yes.
Also, today's episode is sponsored by Hacker Brothers. Hacker Brothers now has their online store back up and running, and merch is available. Also can be found at www.mozark.com. Check that out. A lot of new and old stock still coming back. Some of the popular items, I think some hats that were back by request. So have that back up if you missed out at the beginning of summer. Sorry, but we got your back and your front.
And truth be told,
top and bottom, we got everything.
all through
with all due respect.
With all through winter, we don't just carry summer apparel.
Yeah,
absolutely. This is the perfect opportunity to start your Christmas list.
That's right.
Start hacking for the family.
Oh,
that's right.
Hacking away.
Might have to bring back some Christmas club.
You know what? Santa hats, Hacker Rose Santa hats. Whoa.
So back to the Ozarks, Justin.
Yep.
What is one of your favorite activities?
Well, I'm partial to waterfowl, as are you. Which, speaking of, there's a duck club I'd really like to visit, but yeah, I truth be told, traveled around the area to play music a lot, so I guess that's one of my favorite things to do, other than waterfowl and bow hunting. There's a duck club I'd really like to visit. But that's one of my. Devin, what's your favorite things to do around here?
Man, I believe it or not, I'm a little chunky of a guy, but I really like to hike. I'm a big, I love going hiking to get my little boots laced up, and just go out, new boot goofing and walk through, Otter Slough and those kind of areas. I love out there. Of course, there's a lot of waterfowl just out there chilling.
There's also a lot of snakes.
They call it Otter Slough, and I've never seen an otter out there one. So it's Snake City, but
they're 8 up.
Absolutely. But no, I love hiking in this area. Of course, especially in the Popper Bluff area, there's plenty of infrastructure kind of showing how you can get outside with your family and or solo. There's all these sidewalks and trails just everywhere you look, ready to be excursioned to.
You've never seen an otter at Otter Slough?
Never once.
So it's been probably 10, 12 years ago. And one of my best buddies, my brother, my dad, and I hunted at Otter Slough. We had a reservation. We drew a low pill, and we were able to go out on the Otter Lake. And it was pretty cool. Brutal cold, not a lot of flight in the morning, so we're all just kind of hanging out, killing time. And, look over the front of the blind. Not one, not two, not three. There's about 7 of them just doing their thing, marching right off, right across that lake, inevitably killing every fish within sight. But,
just massacre. And it's funny. So technically, I haven't seen an otter, but I've seen a beaver or 20 out there. So it's like the tail is the issue here. If we can lose that flap, we're good. See an otter.
They are also in Current River.
Now, I have seen him in Current River.
You ever heard him?
I've seen him in Bay Nothing.
Oh, in the Bay of Nothing. That's where all my smallmouth bass disappeared to.
It's a beautiful place to have nothing.
Current River Real Estate. That's a hot item.
That is, and I think I will give you the title, and I'll catch the flack for it. I'll give you the title of Current River, definitely Van Buren area real estate king there.
Oh,
I'll give you that title, and I'll take the flack for it.
Well, I'm not going to put my crown on my head yet, but that's something that I get a lot of inquiries on. Of course, spend a tremendous time over there and do know that watershed quite well. And people say, why is real estate in that neck of the woods so dadgum expensive? And 2, why can I not find any of it? Well, of course, common laws of economics, supply and demand, extremely high demand, extremely low supply. Take Van Buren, for example. What people fail to recognize is that, in the 60s, that area was established as one of our national parks. The Ozark National Scenic Riverways, home to Big Springs, which is incredible. Devin, you'll have to pull up the stats on Big Springs and its flow. But with that being said, there's only a couple of miles of publicly owned lands, say from the 60 Bridge where it crosses Current River there at Van Buren, a couple miles north and a couple miles south, and then you're in the park. And the federal government is not really in a habit of selling their prime pristine real estate. Of course, there's still people that were alive in the 60s when this land was, in their opinion and in the opinion of some people, taken for the better good of the people. Myself personally, I've kind of wrestled with some of the actions, with regards to the waterways and some of the state and national parks, but the conservation side of me, I guess, as I've matured and grown older, and I do see, the impact that tourism has in the summer, which we were very, very proud of. We welcome everybody that comes and visits. As long as you leave it better than you found it, you're welcome to come back. But they have preserved some of the most magnificent, beautiful, and important waterways, in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And that's something else. You know, the river is open beyond Labor Day. So if you don't like the crowds in the summer, you are welcome to come after Labor Day. Get with an outfitter, get with a local hotel. They'd be happy to put you up. They can, of course, ferry you upstream, carry all your gear for you, put you in the water, and whether you want to float for a day, a week, a month, we got a couple 100 miles of that river for you to enjoy.
And it's crazy how even local people will drive hours to go see something when you can drive 5-10 minutes and walk for 5-10 minutes.
Oh yeah,
and see something even more spectacular.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I mean the vastness of the Mark Twain National Forest, and again, some of the state and other federally owned properties. Man, guys, I've spent a lot of time, my free time, and my buddies, out exploring this, and there's still stuff every day. Well, every opportunity that we go out that there is to go visit and see for the first time. And I'll tell you what, some of it's so cool. You go see it for the 10th time, and it's pretty dadgum neat. It's awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
You ever been to Blue Springs?
Is that at Jack's Fork? Or is that its
That's
own
the really
place?
deep one, right?
Mm-hmm. It's on the Upper Current.
I
Have
don't
you
know.
ever been to the Klepsig Mill?
I have been there.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yes.
A lot of neat history. If you go down to Panther, below Big Spring Park at the end of Z Highway,
Big rocks.
there is. And there is the Kelly Farms, where, as the story goes, as legend has it, in 1805, Isaac Kelly established the first known settlement and trading post along Current River, which just downstream from that is the town of...
The town.
Yeah.
Hit me
Kelly
with
Town.
hit me with the...
I'm going to say
Maybe with the
Kelly
game
Town
show
because
music.
it makes...
All right, I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
In its heyday, it was the biggest city or settlement in the region. You got people from there. You've listed property there. It had a huge mill pond. Grandin, Missouri.
First try.
Absolutely. Yeah, good job.
I already knew it. It was a suspense game.
Yeah, we'll give you a consolation prize. I think I got some more broadheads over there. Maybe I'll give you a coaster.
No, I'd take more coasters than anything.
But, the beautiful, unbelievable virgin timber that was all throughout the Ozarks is what fed the Industrial Revolution. So when we built all of these cities, St. Louis, Chicago, and beyond, it was the timber that they felled out of these forests. They rolled them down into the rivers and floated them down the river into the big mill pond at Grandin. And from there, if you've ever ridden the tram road, they put it on the rail cars, took it to the city. Now, that timber and that river look a whole lot different than they do now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Matter of fact, I guess what we know now, hindsight, right? The timber practices have changed dramatically, but what we know is a clear cut to these days, by today's standards, they clear cut all that ground. And so that changed the entire landscape of this region. But, water, now we had erosion problems. It absolutely scalped all of that landscape. It exposed the limestone that you see today, and these big rocks then made their way into the river. I mean, once upon a time, obviously if they were floating huge logs down Current River, you can imagine, like most of the time, it's like knee deep. How'd they do that? Well, it was deep and it was muddy, whereas now it's crystal clear and a rock bottom. So, a little brief history there.
An accidental tourist excursion type thing. They accidentally created it, and it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't the mill pond that we were just discussing? Isn't that actually? Can't you actually buy that piece of property right now?
I believe that's one of our listings.
That is for another episode. Make you stay on tune. Tune in for the next episode to find out.
It clicked on me. I was like, that sounds familiar.
So, a lot of changes. Of course, if you are coming to Current River, you have a lot of options you can get with local outfitters. They have tubes, rafts. You can do single kayaks, or they have kayaks, and you can even bring your own stuff. If you want them to float on that, get out there, enjoy that. Bring your light tackle. We've got smallmouth. There's Kentucky and largemouth bass in the river. Of course, there's catfish. And if you really want to get a taste of what the Ozarks and our history is like, find somebody to take you gigging. That'll be September 15th.
Absolutely later, but you're getting there. You're almost there. See, I kind of going back to the hobby thing, the outdoors, especially with gigging. I really like to bowfish too.
Nah, I never done it.
Oh, well, there's this duck lodge I kind of want to go to, but we could, talk to the owner or whatever, maybe work an arrangement.
These fools want me to take them hunting and do a podcast from my duck blind. It ain't happening, but I might take you hunting.
That'll
You guys, you just keep your little nose clean. Say your prayers, brush your teeth every night.
I take my vitamins.
And use a coaster on the table.
He's a good man.
We got manners.
We'll see what Santa brings you. Now, Santa should be bringing us another podcast episode. We're going to wrap this one up.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody that is tuning in. Again, if you have any suggestions, anything you'd like for us to talk about, we apologize for bouncing around, but I don't know, man.
That's the spirit of it. That's the spirit of it.
First go around, let's go.
What's your method to podcast? It's the same method that I use in my everyday life. That shoot from the hip.
Yeah.
Time. Play it by ear, baby.
Yeah, for sure.
Come back and see us. Tune in again for the Mozark Minute. This is Lucas.
And Justin.
And Devin.
There he is. Thank you guys so much.